So I just want to give a brief overview of the stats and just stress the importance of, keeping track of the stats and looking at the stats. So the video is uploaded from the scrimmage against Hub City. So that's where the video is. If you want to watch the whole video, you click here and you'll be able to see there's a ticker along the bottom. It will let you know who's coming up and who's going to do what. You can also select filters if you only want certain athletes or certain rotations or certain filters put in, and they will highlight what you're doing. So this is a good way to watch all the film and see what's coming up. The next thing you can go to is reports. This is where all your stats are going to be housed. You can view by just one match. You can add all season, last 5, regular season, postseason, if it was a tournament, if it was home, away, however you want to look at the stats to make a determination about what's going on. You can, view it overall, just for that weekend, etc., etc. So there are several ways you can group stats to get an overall view of the team. Overall is what it says. It's overall. That's for one match against Hub City. You get service wins, side out, serve receive, hitting, blocks. Every single heading will explain exactly what it is. Traditionally, the higher you always want these numbers to be higher, except for I believe the serve receive rating. You want that to be low because that is based on how they are receiving your serve or the team serve. So this is the one you want lower. Any one of these numbers that are highlighted you can click on and it will produce 8-second clips of all the plays, which is really good. There's going to be a send to highlight button there, but you want to avoid doing that. I'm going to do a separate highlight video later on down the road, but I know you're going to want to do that, so I won't hold off on too long. But anyway, so again, you can click on any of these highlighted numbers to see what that stat is talking about. By match, we only have the one match, so these are, all the set scores, service wins, side out, serves, and everything that corresponds to that match. By athlete is usually what interests athletes and their parents the most. This is give you a good idea of how well your player did on that particular match, or you can do overall if you've got several matches for a tournament, for half season, full season, however you want to sort it, and you would do that by adding other matches. So here it just gives you a breakdown of your matches played, sets played, how many aces, service errors, service attempts, service ratings, the serving percent, all the way to serve receive, hitting, blocking, assists, digs, free balls, violations, so on and so forth. What you're going to see, most of it's self-explanatory. The only thing I would point out is if you have a high number of attempts, that doesn't necessarily mean you were always set the most. It means that you had the most attempts. It could have been from an overpass. It could have been from, you hit the second ball as opposed to, you were set the ball. So that's what that means. If you have a negative number here, it means you had more errors than you had kills. So see, like here, there was 6 kills, but 9 errors. So you always want to be in the positive. Higher the number, the better. Digs, that's traditionally, your passing specialists, defensive specialists. So liberos are going to usually have a lot, but you've got some really great passers on this team, so you're going to see a lot more digs. Also with assists, we got a lot of great hands, so that's why you're seeing some numbers here. Attempted assists. That's when the setter couldn't get to the ball and somebody helped them out, which is really good. An assist is when you get the second ball to the hitter and they make a kill. So that's what that means. And by rotation. Your rotation is, your starting rotation, your second rotation, third rotation, fourth rotation, fifth rotation, sixth rotation. This is basically an area where the coaches may go to look and say, well, what is my, depending on how they want to lead off, they may want to lead off on their strongest, serving or their strongest hitting group. So they're going to look at these numbers to say, how do I want to start a match or start a set rather? And, they may want to start with their strongest servers or their strongest hitters or their best passers. It's up to the coach. This is where they're primarily going to be looking to make sure they're putting together the best lineup or the best lineup that fits their philosophy on how they want to compete. So that's pretty much it for statistics. Again, feel free to click on any of these things if you want to view the film. I would just avoid adding to highlights right now, only because there is a little hiccup in this program, but I will address that in the highlight film.